This program is brought to you in part by SalCal Real Estate Connections.
Yes, Dave Alkus, number 9 today in this reunion. I can't believe 9 years have gone by. Tell me about that, buddy.
You're right, Larry. Every year we keep adding another number to it, and I can't believe it myself, but this is the 9th annual Plainville Stadium reunion. And Don Moon, his wife Kathy, the go-kart club over here, Nutmeg Go-Kart Club, and the Berlin Lions Club, along with myself, we went out and did a lot of work in here and got everything put together with all these replica cars and all, Larry.
I'm telling you, Dave, I just talked to Billy Greco. I swear to God, it was so special to talk to him, you know. I mean, and then his old car from the park just makes it all the more special. You're
right, Larry. There's a lot of them in here. There's a lot for a lot of the old fans that we had at Plainville. I always go back and say the days that we had you can't bring back, but they were memories that everybody that I meet, anywhere you go to Stop and Shop, you go down here to the fairgrounds, anywhere I go, I always run into somebody that's coming up and saying, "Oh, you were my hero," and all this, and then it's really heartwarming.
Well, I'll tell you, Dave, this car behind you, it means a lot of special something to you. You won 5 championships, buddy, and I believe most of them are with this car.
Right. When I hooked up with Roland Sear back in 70, actually it was 71, and we ran through, for 10 years I ran with Roland. And we won 5 championships from 1972 all the way to 77 each year consecutively. And I'm not bragging about it, but the car was phenomenal. I mean, wherever you put it on the track, and Roland always kept the car there going, and it really was really a pleasure to drive for him.
Dave, you did a hell of a job, and I was shocked this morning when you were talking on the radio that you didn't say you were a 5-time champ, you know.
Well, I'm kind of modest about that. I don't like to brag, but you know, what it is, and people know it, and they don't like to just keep repetitious putting on like that. And just watching all the old fans coming down here and shaking your hand and letting you know that they remembered you in the old days.
Absolutely. When I come here and look at these cars, it's just like being a kid again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot of cars here. A lot of them are replicas, you know, but they're really put together that look just like the originals. My old 54 here is the same, and Billy Greco's and the 00 that Jap had here. A lot of them are all replicas, but they're right to T. They take pictures. They got the lettering. Everything is right to a T.
I mean, like I said, it looks just like the day. I love coming here to look at these cars.
Well, Larry, as you can see, if you focused around, there's a lot of the cars in here. I mean, we'd probably boast that there's probably 25, 30 cars here. And they're nice, and this is the only place you're going to see them once a year. So Don Moon and Kathy, all the guys and ourselves, we turned this tractor building into an auto show and for the Plainville Stadium reunion, and it's nice to give back to the community.
Well, let me tell you, I have to commend you and all the guys, you know, Gary and Don and his wife, Kathy. You just do an outstanding job.
Well, if you like to do it, it really isn't work, you know. And we get a lot of help from the outside. Racing Action today, you fellas cover us and doing an excellent job, and we're stepping up to the plate and working with us, and it's nice that you guys recognize this as much as you do.
You know, you hit it right on the head. When you like what you're doing, it's not work.
That's right. We got plenty of photos back there. Phil Hoyt has got probably 250, 300 different photos of. If you can't find who you raced with or liked with and everything, you won't find them. He's got every one of them.
I hear you. I absolutely hear you. You know, like I said, when you come here, you're going to find. I don't care if you're a child, a grown-up, a grandfather. You're going to find something you're going to like.
That, and you know what you've been through, along with a lot of people. We lose a lot of our good members of the club here. This year we lost Mr. Lombardo, you know, and he also Teddy Christopher, which didn't race here, but he was part of Plainville. And
kind of put a damper today because we just lost him last week because he's still in everybody's mind, you know.
well, he's lost, but he's not forgotten by all of us, by no means. Everyone around here mentions his name, and it's something that he may passed away, but his memories won't go anywhere.
Let me tell you, he'll always be a remember, without a doubt.
You're right, Larry.
Well, Dave, I don't want to tie you up no more. You just do a great job here, and I'm sure we're going to be talking in the future, and especially on the radio.
Oh, yeah. Thanks a lot, Larry.
All right, buddy. Nice, good job. Yes, Gary, we're at the 9th annual Plainville Stadium reunion. Could you believe that?
Not in a million years.
I mean, 9 years.
9 years, huh? I remember the first one that we had here. This thing has just grown and grown and grown over the years, I'll tell you. We got a good crowd today, a lot of cars. Of course, as you know, we moved our date. Berlin Fair was last weekend, which Lions worked their butts off, and they had 4 good days because we did have that soft opening on Thursday night with a demolition derby. But we do have a few other things going on, Loudon and a few other events here. But sacrifices, we got good, you know, we sacrificed the date, but we got some good weather, and we had people coming in through the gate, and a little scary in the beginning, but I think we're doing very well right now.
Well, you know, we just have to think about the future, how we'll handle that, you know?
Exactly.
Maybe move it down the road a week or so.
That's a possibility. The only thing is, the next weekend would be traditionally when the Berlin Fair used to be, which obviously we changed the dates on that due to the weather. You roll the dice, and I guess what we could do is contact a few of the places and see what their schedule is a little bit early. We did look at everything earlier in the year, but as you know, stuff just pops in and just populates on the calendar over time. So we'll be on top of it next year for sure.
When I come here and see some of these cars like the 00, it's just like being a kid again.
Oh my God, yes. I mean, I started going to Plainville Stadium when I was 11 years old. Dave Alkes, as you know, Berlin Lions member, and Jet Membrino here. There used to be quite a bit of feuds over there. Purple Gang out of Waterbury. You had the Farmers out of Berlin racing here. It was a racing track, a town track. A lot of legacies were built at this track.
Boy, oh boy, the history is just so special.
Exactly, for sure. I can't believe, you know, at that age, these guys were my heroes, and I would be actually talking and being friends with them later on in my life. So it's phenomenal.
The only other thing I have to say is too bad there's a damper on today because our loss with Ted Christopher last weekend.
Yeah, that was very traumatic. As you know, George, who raced for me for a lot of years, worked for Ted Christopher, and this year, Ted let him use a car, and he ran the SK Lights up at Stafford. Did very, very well. George was here Saturday during the fair when we got the news, and let me tell you, it's a loss to the racing community.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he was special, and I learned a little bit, you know, about Ted, which I didn't know. He had 2 names, Ted and TC, and they were not the same people.
Oh, I know, for sure. He was he was the Dale Earnhardt of short track racing up here in the New England area. He wheeled everything from a cup car down to a road course. Anything he got in, he was fast. And Michael, his twin brother, his brother was no slouch either. He did very well in racing.
I mean, the history there is special.
Yeah, definitely special. He's going to be sadly missed for sure. So our condolences go out to the Christopher family.
Absolutely. He's a legend in his time.
Exactly, for sure. So I don't know of anybody that's out there that can replace him at this point, but who knows? There's a lot of young guns out there that might take on his driving style.
You never know.
You never know. Exactly. So,
Gary, I don't want to tie you up any further, and if you get a chance, send our boy Mr. Moon over. We'll have a little chat with him, and good luck today. And as usual, you're right on your game.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you,
and
buddy.
Thank you for your support all the time, Larry. I really appreciate it.
Did you hear Dave this morning on the radio?
No, I did not.
He was on the radio, hey, on TIC.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What was he talking about?
About today, here.
Oh, about today. I thought maybe about the tractors.
Oh, no.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
All right.
we have fun. You know that.
Exactly.
All right, buddy.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you very much,
Thanks
Larry.
a lot.
All right.
Yes, once again, Don, number 9.
Yeah, we're
Reunion.
back. We're back here again, and we got quite a few cars this year and quite a few people. We got over 40 cars. You name it, we got it.
I'll tell you, when I come here, it's just like going home, I like to call it.
This is home for me. I love it.
You and Kathy and Dave and Gary just do an outstanding job to get this together.
It's not an easy thing. It's a tough thing to get everybody together. It's worse than trying to gang up the kids.
Yeah, it is. I know it is. But you do a great job, and we're so happy to come here and do this. And, of course, we lost a good friend last week.
Mr. Teddy, very good friend of mine. I just saw him about 2 weeks ago. We were in Home Depot buying parts. Where we're buying no race car parts, though.
Yeah.
And we were talking about racing and talking about this, and I can't believe he's gone.
It's hard to believe, just, it's like you can't, no, this couldn't have happened, but it did. But he'll always be a remember. That I'll tell you.
He'll be remembered to me because all the things he did in a race car and the things he went through and the way he had to go wasn't right.
No, it wasn't. No. I have to tell you, when you come here and you see the 00, the 43, Sharky's car, what does it feel like to you? Tell me.
Like a home, like being at home.
Just like we're
On pit road. Yep.
Just like we're in pit road, right? And I laugh when I go to the Lowe's over there.
Yeah.
I used to say to myself, I'm in the pits.
Yeah, but all you have to do is put your head against the 2x4s or the 2x6s, and you'll hear Alcas and Damo and all the race car drivers are coming down the straightaway.
Unbelievable, Yeah, it's so special to have these cars here today, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very special. I enjoy having them all come here. I wish I could get more, but it's tough to get more. There's a lot of shows going on today. And it's a tough thing to get everybody together, wake them up. And
Now tell me, because of the date change, I think next year you may have to make some changes, huh?
we might have to, but it depends what happens. At least we got the good weather. The fairgrounds had good weather. They didn't get no rain, so they made out better this year. But we always seem to have good weather for the reunion.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I have to rethink because there's other events that go on this time of the year.
Yeah. Well, I enjoy putting this event on because it's like old home week, and I love seeing all these cars and seeing all the guys I used to race with. We never fought though. We always got along good.
Well, I don't know about that. I remember some heated discussions. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. Well, Jap is here and he's staying pretty calm. He's getting a little older though.
Well, I hope he mellows out.
Yeah. But like I say, this is a fun place to come. I wish everybody would come to this show and see what Plainville Stadium was all about.
Tell me, how's Kathy doing?
She's doing very well. She's still hollering at me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, though, she's always right there to do whatever you need to do.
She's on top of everything. She double corrects me and tells me that I got to do this and do that, and I listen.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I
mean, you don't want to lose a woman like that, let me tell you.
Yeah, she's very good. She's on top of everything. Even the Christmas party, she does a hell of a job, and I try to do a few things to keep it going.
Yeah, last year, I can't remember. Something happened last year. We didn't make the party last year. There was a reason. I can't remember why. Something happened.
Well, we missed you.
I miss you guys, too. Oh, this year, we'll get there. Trust me.
Well, like I say, when wintertime comes around, that's what to look forward to is a Christmas party at Don Moon's. Everybody has a good time. Anybody can come. We have a good time.
Absolutely, buddy. Yeah, we're going to resume this. I'm going to let you go. I know you're busy. And you tell Kathy I said hello. And hopefully we'll talk to her maybe later on.
Yeah, you go ahead and get her right up there and talk to her.
Okay.
Let's see if you can get a few words out of her.
All right. Thank you, Don.
Thank you very much.
Plainville Stadium throwback, Don Moon. There you go, buddy. Yes, we're talking to the legend himself, Bill Greco. You drove this number 43 and made quite a history with it. Tell me about this car, Bill.
This car was a great car. Drove it for Riverside. I started in 1960, and I drove a couple of other cars. Then my brother decided that he wanted to build a car. So he built this 43 in like 1963 or something like that. And from then on, we wrote some good stories.
Oh, yeah, I can remember you, Billy, Plainville Stadium. I'm telling you, it was just like yesterday.
Yeah, I did very good in Plainville, but not with this car.
Another car. Sharky's car. Huh?
Yep, the
Sharky's
44.
car.
Yeah, that was a 6-cylinder Chrysler that I raced at West Haven. I won 3 championships with it there. And I did very good with it. I can't squawk because through my years, I won a lot of races and I lost a lot of races. But mostly I won a lot.
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you, this car comes from the park, right? Mostly the park.
From Riverside Park, yes.
You were a legend everywhere you went, let me tell you.
Yeah, to tell you the truth, no matter where I went, I won races.
Yeah, yes you did. And George, you know.
My brother, yeah, Butch has passed away, and he was a great mechanic, and not only a mechanic, but he was a good setup man.
Yes, he was. He could tell by looking at you out in the racetrack what he had to do to the car.
Right, because he knew how I drove, and I never had to tell him, well, the car is pushing and everything else. I never had to tell him that. He knew what the car was doing, and he knew how I was driving. So he set the car up. And it was an easy car to drive.
Let me tell you something, Billy. When you come here and you see these cars, 00 and all these people, what comes to your mind?
Well, it's great to come here and see everything and see the people that I raced against. Now I don't have to race against them anymore. That's all.
Yeah, it's different, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very different, and I love it. You know, I love to come. I love to see the people.
Camaraderie, huh?
Yeah.
Just special.
Yeah,
It's like coming home, I like to say.
Yeah, you're right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, when I think back, the Garuti brothers, and George Lombardo, and Sparky Belmont, I mean, just special, right?
They were special guys, all of them. Sparky was a good friend of mine. George Lombardo was a very good friend of mine. I think he was the biggest guy at Riverside, him and Ed Patno.
Yeah.
And I was the smallest guy. And I'm talking about size.
Yeah.
You know?
I know. He was huge. And boy, was he a strong man. Never mind.
His hand was like 2 of my hands. Yeah. And when he shook my hand, he was holding on, boy.
Let me tell you, when that guy was after you, you were in trouble.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't want to be an enemy of his, really. But yeah, he was a great guy. Too bad he passed away, you know. Yeah. I guess we're all, you know, in that series. You get old, you got to go.
You got to go, and, you know, too bad today. There's a little damper on today because of the fact we lost Ted Christopher, young racer.
Yeah.
You know. He died last weekend, and boy, let me tell you, he will be missed.
He will be. He was a great kid. Yeah, I call him a kid because he is a kid compared to me. I'm 89 years old, so but he was a good guy.
Yes, he was.
You know, a lot of people didn't like him, but there's a lot of people that did like him.
Yes. Yeah, he was. I like to say there was 2 Teds. There was a guy named Ted, and there was a guy named TC. Yeah. TC was a different person altogether.
Yes, that's right. Yep. And his brother Michael was a good kid, too.
Good family.
Yeah.
Really, our condolences go out to them because he will be surely missed.
Yep. My condolences are with him, too.
Absolutely. So I'll tell you, you know, Billy, you look good, I have to say it. It's such a pleasure to come here and see you.
Thank you.
You know, after
it's
all
great
these
to be
years,
here.
and I just hope we do this till you're 100.
I hope I stay. But you never know.
You never know, but you
Right.
know what? I got a good feeling you're going to do something. You're going to last a while, buddy. You'll be here.
I hope so.
Well, we're going to let you go. I don't want to tie you up, and wish you good luck. And I'm sure I'll catch you next time around up here.
Okay.
All right, buddy. Billy,
Been very
pleasure.
good.
Thank you.
My honor.
My honor. Yes, we have Smitty here who owned this car, and Joe Fontana also owned the Silver Six. Am I right?
That's right. Years ago we did, yeah, 57.
Now tell me, Walter, when did you take over the car?
57. He moved to California.
Oh, you went to California?
I moved to California in 1957, and when I did, I sold all my racing equipment to Walter.
Was it GMC power too?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I mean, you're a legend. Let me tell you guys are a legend with this car.
well,
Yeah.
we love them because they're good engines.
It's had a lot of interest. This car's had a lot of interest. Not only this one, but its predecessors. In fact, a restored model of this car, the first car I built, went to auction down in Florida, and it sold for $28,000 as a well-maintained car.
Oh, absolutely. Let me tell you. I mean, this car is in good shape too.
Oh, yeah. Yes, it is.
I'll tell you, Walter, you're like a fixture when it comes to this Plainville Stadium. You know, when I come here, I just know who you are without even coming over to talk to you.
Yes, good. You got good memory.
When you come here, what does it feel like when you see all these cars, all these different cars?
History.
History, huh? Like going home, huh?
So years gone by, history here.
Yeah. Now, when you went to California, Joe, did you continue racing?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I did a lot of racing in California.
Same thing, modified?
First, I started, no, not circle track. I started drag racing with a 37 Chevy and with this kind of motor in a street car. Never got beat at Lion Speedway with it.
Wow. Wow.
Tremendous record. And then after I got, later on, I got interested in Bonneville. And my best run at Bonneville was almost 300 miles an hour. That was 4 years ago.
Wow.
With this engine, a 58-year-old engine, 58-year-old engine.
Oh, my God. How's that?
So that's quite well, yeah.
Out to California, to Bonneville with him one year, and his engine was in another car, and they set records too.
Oh, yeah. I'm in the 200-mile-an-hour club. Bonneville is an exclusive club.
We're in fast company here today, let me tell you.
And I think my biggest feat I ever did is I won the Newport to Ensenada yacht race, which is the largest sailboat race in the world. 600 boats. And I raced in that, and I raced against Dennis Conner. Dennis Conner just got back from Perth, Australia, where he won the American Cup. He won the American Cup, and he came back and he entered a catamaran, a new ultralight cat. Put it in that race, and I had a monohull, and we beat him down to, he set a world's record and beat him.
We got two famous guys here, let me tell you.
He is famous.
No, I'm not.
Let me tell you, Smitty he's known just like a brother to everybody here.
Yes, he is.
Wow.
He's got a heart of gold. He'll give you anything, a shirt off his back.
Oh,
He's
absolutely.
the kind of a guy that'll help you no matter what. Yep.
One of these days, Smitty, we're going to have a round table with all the old guys, and we're going to invite you, and we're going to have a little talk about the old days.
Yeah, when?
We'll do it. I got to set it up.
Oh, today?
No, not today.
Oh, okay.
Not today. You're safe.
Good.
Well, I got to thank both of you guys. I had no idea, Joe, your history, and boy, it's special. And Smitty, you're a legend in your own time, too.
Not like him.
Actually, I went into the business of building race car engines for midgets. And Tony Stewart, the first ride was in my car, and Jeff Gordon. They went in my car over to Australia and won every race there was over there.
Wow. Talk about history. Unbelievable.
A lot of history. A lot of history. Yep.
Well, I don't want to tie you.
Making history.
Still making history. Yeah. I don't want to tie you guys up any further. I want to thank you for having a word with us, and
Thank you.
you know, I hope to see you here every year.
Okay. Thank
You too, Joe.
You're a good interviewer, I can
Hey,
tell you that.
know what, Joe?
You know
I had no idea you got a special history. Wow.
Yeah, I'm in the Hall of Fame here too at near.
Oh, I don't doubt that.
Yep. Last year I got in.
You got in, yeah. Well, very good.
2 years ago.
Hey, go enjoy the event, okay?
Yeah, we will.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Yeah.
I gotta sit down.
Yes, when you're having fun, time flies. As we come to the conclusion of the show, I hope you enjoyed it today, but please come back next week to Racing Action Today.